Merry Christmas, you filthy animal. And a Happy New Year.
Hello Rage Quitters, my name is TerminatorUK and Happy New Year to you. Hope you all had a great Christmas. So let's get the first things out of the way. You might be asking, Terminator, why the have you got a Santa Claus hat on into a week into 2019? Well, as a lot of the videos that we plan to do on this channel, we plan them, life gets in the way. In this case, many mince pies, too much turkey, and yeah, we're a bit late, but as we always say on this channel, better late than never. Anyway, enough of that, and on with the review. So welcome folks, welcome. Today we are looking at the Razer BlackWidow Elite mechanical gaming keyboard, another review sample kindly provided by Razer. Big shout out and massive thanks again for providing the review sample. We can't do half of these reviews on Razer equipment without it, so we're very, very grateful for that. And yeah, this is the beast just right in front of me here. So throughout this review, I'm going to make some comparisons with a BlackWidow X that I've had for quite a while, which is here. I've got that just in a plain white colour scheme rather than the spectrum cycling on the BlackWidow Elite. The reason why I've done this is you can, well, let's play a game to spot the difference. They look remarkably similar. What's the difference, you might ask, Terminator? Well, we shall go through that in this very video. So let's start off then with the features of this particular keyboard. It's pretty similar to other Razer keyboards on first glance. One of the differences under the hood, if we just pry one of these keys off, you might be able to see it. Hopefully you might be able to see it on the camera there. If you have a look, these are using Razer green clicky switches on this particular model. You can see that the Elite has got this brand new dual sidewall, as they're calling it. It almost looks like square brackets around the cross in the middle. The idea of that is that it's meant to create a much more stable experience and stop the key from rocking as you press it. So even the slightest touch on the side of the key will activate the key itself. That, as we'll see later in the review, is a bit of a double-edged sword. Obviously, it's brilliant in terms of making sure that, like on the switch over to the BlackWidow X, sometimes you can not register. That's not a very good example. Not register a key press when you're looking right down, clicking right down the side of the button, as on the BlackWidow Elite, you find that even the slightest brush actually activates the key. As I say, it's a bit of a double-edged sword. That's good and bad. What I have found during games, as we may see during the gameplay footage a bit later on, is you can get some times where it accidentally activates the key when you didn't want to. In my particular case, I found that reloading, which I use because I'm an arrow key gamer, I found reloading, which I got on numpad 0, I keep activating that as I'm strafing right, so I found that a little bit annoying, as one comment straight off the bat. But other than that, it's quite similar to the previous models, actually, to be in fact. There are some differences. On the top here, you've got some media keys. You've got like back and forward, skip, and play and pause. That's quite useful. You've also got this multi-function jog reel on the side, and basically by default that's set to change the system sounds up and down, and you can press in the middle to mute or unmute your system as well. So that's quite useful, and you will see later in the Razer sign-up software that this can actually be reconfigured to different purposes. Now, one of the issues I've found with that, I'm sorry to come out with issues, honestly, I'm trying to get some of the negative points out of the way because they are few and far between. One of the issues I've found with that is because it's on the right hand side of your keyboard, a lot of your wires are going down the right hand side. If you're moving your mouse, sometimes you can and because this sort of dial sticks out the side. I found that the movement of some of your wires can actually activate the up and down motion of this wheel, and sometimes that can raise and lower your volume unexpectedly, which is a slight negative side of that. What else should we go on to? Let's talk about the sound that the keys make. Now, you probably, from one of the previous videos, and you've probably seen with other Razer equipment, they've got 3 different keys, key types, switches. Sorry, that's what I'm trying to say. And these come in green, clicky, orange, silent, but still got a tactile bump to it, and yellow, which is silent and linear. This one, as I say, is the green clicky. Now, one of the things, I do like the feel of green clicky, but one of the things you will do is drive your teammates absolutely nuts over, I want to say TeamSpeak or Ventriloquist. Really, really out of it, aren't I? What am I trying to say? On Discord, that's it, yeah. Get with the times, Terminator. Yeah, on Discord, because it does actually generate quite a lot of noise. However, I would say that these have been optimised and they don't seem quite as clicky. I'll give you an example. So if we just pick up the BlackWidow X and we tap on a key, that gets quite annoying and it's quite loud. If we go to the BlackWidow Elite and press it, it's a bit duller. I'm not sure if it's going to come over on the video very well, but it's not quite as sharp, let's say, as the BlackWidow X is. So that's straight off the bat there is a little bit of an advantage. I could only say that maybe down to those dual sidewalls again helping out with the impact, I guess, of the keys, and just makes it so you're not hammering the bass quite so tough with each key press. What else can we say about the keyboard? So another thing that they've changed, and I was really looking forward to this before I got the keyboard, they've actually changed the like the caps lock and num lock indicators, which on the BlackWidow X is in the top right. But one of the things in my review that I said before that I hated on the BlackWidow X is that the characters are basically just like a shiny little letter that you just can't see in the dark whatsoever. Even in bright sunshine, it's pretty hard to see. Pretty useless. They could have just used like a contrasting colour or backlit those symbols and it would have been great. Now when I saw this on the preview, I thought, brilliant, you know, they've actually moved these indicators down to this section just below the keys here. Now before I got the keyboard, what I thought that would help with is that the ambient light between the keys would actually light up this section. So that was what I was thinking. In practice, it doesn't make any difference at all. You still can't see these symbols. So again, it's a very, very strange design decision. I guess it's you know, it's form over function there. And the same issue, if you can call it an issue, is not quite such an issue because, you know, basically where these buttons are located is present on the media keys that only have this shiny surface on the top. So in the dark, you can't see what each of those do. Which I think is a minor quibble, but you know, it's something that easily fixed. I'd like to see that fixed on a future version. It's a stupid little thing, but that should have been fixed in this particular version. Anyway, moving on. Another thing that you will notice that I was quite surprised about is the frame of the device. So the top edge of this frame, I believe, is metal up to here, but it's not as how can I say? It's not as well crafted as the bit of crafting. Yeah, mates will be laughing now. As the BlackWidow X is. It seems like it's almost like half a job in terms of the metal effect. It's just this top plate on the top of the keyboard, and the rest like down the back and on the underside is plastic. As with the BlackWidow X, and one of the things I really liked about it is that whole plate going right over the top, and just the quality and the sort of like durability and the toughness and the make and the build of it seemed just that bit more durable, as it looks like it's not quite there. It's a tough, durable keyboard. Don't get me wrong; it's not going to break on you whatsoever. But it's just like, for me, the BlackWidow X just had the upper hand on that. Anyway, a small little thing, but again, I was a little bit surprised it wasn't quite as incredible, well made as the BlackWidow X was. Okay, let's flip the keyboard over. Another definitely a big pro here. You've got a quite a good change in terms of the underside of the keyboard. So you've got the same routing for the cable as you've got before, so you can have it out the middle, or you can have it out the left and right. Underneath the keyboard though, you see a major change which I really love. Look at the size of these Teflon feet that stick to the desk. Much better. I don't know if you're the same, but when I'm just preparing for a game, I always jiffle my keyboard just around a bit. These bad boys, they're not going to come off at all. I just can't see a huge pad like these in the corners of that one ripping off. If you look at the BlackWidow X, I've already had to replace these at least once in their life. You got these tiny little feet towards the outside, and what I find like during transport to LAN events or just in normal use, that if you jog the keyboard, these can just rip off, and if you're not aware of it, you've lost it, and you'll have to order some new ones. So hats off to Razer in that regard. It's very good design. Also, I like the feet. The Razer feet are very tough and well made. You can see that they're incredibly durable. Again, lovely and wide, so very stable on the desk. So some really decent functionality improvements here. You've got a big thick cable here, and there's two USB connectors on the other end of this. So you need two USB ports that are free. The reason for that is obviously one for data and one for power. The power comes in because if you look on this side of the keyboard, you've got a USB pass-through and an audio jack pass-through, which is pretty cool. So at the other end of the cable, there's a 3.5mm jack, so you can plug that into your sound card, and then you can plug your headset directly into the jack on the keyboard. So if you've got a headset like, let's just grab this one. This is the Bayer Dynamics MMX 300. So the cord I've got with this is a long cord at the moment, but it also comes with a short cord. You could bear with me just 2 seconds. Don't go away. Sorry about that, folks. So it also comes with a short cord like this one, which is actually designed for like use with, say, like a games console straight into a pad or an iPhone. But if you've got a short one, you can plonk that straight into the side of the keyboard, and then the other end straight into your graphics card, and you've got audio pass through without having to have a big cable that goes right down the back of your rig. Great feature. If you're using a headset like that with a 3.5mm jack, you can really tidy up your desk space and the amount of cables and clutter you've got around. Okay, lastly, let's just have another talk about the what else comes in the box. So in this case, like the version 2 of the BlackWidow, it also comes with this really nice wrist rest. Again, it features these very large Teflon feet below the keyboard, so again, no slippage. And just like the BlackWidow V2, all you got to do is put it near to the keyboard at the front, and it clips into place pretty firmly. Again, I don't know quite what it is. It's not quite as magnetic as the V2 was. You only had to get that quite close, but it does seem to line up, and then basically it forms into place and gives you a nice wrist rest as you're playing. Okay, that's the overview of the keyboard. Let's move on to the Razer Synapse software, where we can configure the keyboard and the lighting to our heart's content. See you in the next section. Okay, welcome back to the second part of this review. We're going to look at the Razer Synapse free software that we've briefly brushed on in the past before, but we'll look at it in the context of the Razer BlackWidow Elite. So from the main screen, if we select our device, the Razer BlackWidow Elite, we're presented with a diagram of the keyboard, as you can see in front of us. To change a function, all we have to do is just literally click on a part of the keyboard. So we'll click on the multimedia wheel, and you can see that it's currently set to the default of volume down for anti-clockwise, mute volume, or volume up for clockwise rotation. But we can do absolutely anything that we want with these. So if we clicked on volume down, for example, this comes up with a separate menu on the left hand side. All we'd have to do is, for example, click on something like mouse function and save it as left click. And this is pretty bizarre. But if we just hover over here, if I just push the wheel up once, then it acts as just like a left click. So yep, you can change any function to anything you want. So there's a huge range of different things you can do. Let's just save that back as volume down again. And yeah, so you've got all the different the dial multi-functions menu for this particular key, but we can change literally anything to whatever we want. Some of the other keys have got many more functions, like switching profile or switching lighting types. If you've got different chroma effects set up, launching programs, macros, anything you want really. So there's a huge amount of customization that can be done here. If we click at the top on the lighting section, so you've got basically the brightness of the keys, dim, normal and bright. I don't see why you'd ever want to not have it on bright. On the effects, quick effects, there's quite a few different effects. One of the new ones that I quite like is called Fire. That makes the keys, as the name suggests, look all fiery, and different sort of red, yellow and orange combinations, which is quite cool, and it's quite difficult to do by yourself, so that's quite a nice effect. The spectrum cycling is the default option, but any of these are really effective on the keyboard. So as well as the inbuilt, you've got these advanced effects and what's known as a Chroma Studio, and you can literally spend hours inside this. So the Chroma Studio, you can literally hit sort of like banks of keys. So you could do like WASD, for example, and we could change that into fire if we want, and we could change say space bar, and we can have that as I know, like a static, and whatever color that you want to choose from there. So it's just a huge amount of customization. It's really nice that they've actually included this all in this studio as part together. So I've got on the right here, I've got the Razer Fly-Fi mouse mat, so I can even select segments of this and then combine the effects together. So really the amount of customization here is absolutely insane, and the synchronization is really good. It absolutely kicks any other software into touch, including Razer Synapse 2, and if you've used it, Corsair's IQ is very difficult and cumbersome to use in comparison. So it's definitely a very good feature of this particular device. So I won't go on too much about this because I want to try and limit the length of the review. We shall go on to some gaming tests to see how it performs. See you in the next section. Welcome back to the gameplay portion of the video review. We're going to be playing some Overwatch here, and using the healer sniper hybrid character Anna. So first of all, we start off this round with a sleep dart there quickly on Wrecking Ball. I used a combination of scoped healing and left and right strafing to try and minimise the damage on myself. Trying to prioritise healing on our main tank Reinhardt here. In fairly decent position here on the back line, so we can get quite a few shots in. Constantly strafing left and right, which is made quite easy on the keyboard here. Trying to top up Lucio just to keep him alive there. We always need a second healer to be around. Nearly got my ultimate here. So a nano boost Ryan now to keep him topped up. Probably didn't need it with the sound barrier there, but just wanted to keep him alive. I put some pressure up on McCree. Don't manage to kill him. I do miss that grenade though. Putting a few more heals on Reinhardt there just to try and keep him alive, and put in a healing grenade there. Bit more healing on Diva there. And we've still got that McCree on top, so I'll give him a bit more pressure. Put the nade on. I think I just about managed to clip him there. Keeping people topped up. No one's really put pressure on me at the moment on the back line here. Get a nice little nade in there to get some bonus healing in. Try and keep Ash topped up. And then I start taking some damage from Farah here. And use again a nano boost to try and keep Wrecking Ball alive, but didn't really capitalise on this. Unfortunately we lose our main tank and then I'm caught out of position at this point. Missed my sleep dart there, went straight into Zarya's barrier and then was taken out by Farah. So back to the reset at this point. Unfortunately our Reinhardt goes in on his own, doesn't wait for the rest of the team, and we lose him. Now this is a bit annoying here. If you see on the picture there, I actually reloaded by mistake. Actually just nudged the edge of the insert key, which is my reload, which is really annoying because I still had ammunition in my clip and I could have saved that Diva, but it reloaded when I didn't want it to, so that is a bit annoying. It happens later on in the footage, but you can see how critical it can be in a fast-paced game like this when you have keys that mistakenly press themselves. We keep our Lucio just alive there to keep our secondary heal up, and I try and pocket Ryan to keep him alive. Miss a sleep dart there on Zarya, unfortunately. Ryan gets pinned, but then I use my nano boost to keep him alive. It turns this fight around. I do a bit of hip healing there on Ash using my strafe left and right. I then go after Reinhardt to pocket him a bit more with some healing, and we've run the round. So all in all, not a bad start, but as I say, that little mistaken reload there when I didn't expect it was most annoying, and cost Diva a particular life on that particular round where it shouldn't have done. Okay, we move into the second round. So all in all, the keyboard's performing very well. You can see that I can keep an easy rhythm using the control key that I've got set for my jump. That's very, very fluid and natural. The key presses are very fast, and it doesn't take much to activate the keys, and it's incredibly responsive. So yeah, definitely decent performance. Put a shot into Farah there, narrowly miss a second shot, and don't get a third shot on there. There's quite a few targets at this point, and sometimes when you're playing Anna, it's quite hard to decide where to actually put your fire in. In this case, I've decided to duck around the corner of the building, keep myself alive and Ash alive. Here again, I get another mid-clip reload that I didn't expect or didn't ask for, and again that cost me my life. Very, very irritating. Now, not to say that I would have defeated the Farah in that instance, because she was using the terrain to her advantage quite well, but it definitely gave her like an extra second or so that I couldn't return fire because it started to reload when I didn't actually ask it for. So yeah, bit frustrating there. I'm pretty sure you get used to something like that over time, but the edge of the key seemed to be excessively sensitive in that case. I get dove on by Winston there, but I do get a nice grenade on McCree followed by sleep dart. That was quite a cool combo, though I embarrassingly missed the follow-up shot and somebody else took it for me. I dive into cover at that point to avoid the Diva blast. I try and get some shots in on Diva there, but she goes out of cover. Miss with Sleep Dart on that instance on Diva. I use my Nano Boost to heal through the barrier, and then go and pocket Roadhog in this case, to try and keep him alive. I reload, pump a few shots into Diva. She gets demech'd, and then do a nice little flick shot there, boom, onto the back, and take her out. That's quite a good shot there, if I say so myself. Teammates are keeping everyone suppressed, and the enemy is trickling in here, so they're not really getting a lot of traction. Couple of shots in, try a Sleep Dart, gets blocked by Winston's barrier there. Lucy does a nice little boop and gets the enemy Anna off the map. I fire a couple of shots on Mini Diva there and miss. Again, try a Sleep Dart, gets blocked by the barrier. I target Hog there. Now McCree's focused me down, but I do survive longer than I probably should have done with some nifty left and right strafing. If you look on the def cam here, he had to fire quite a few shots and miss me a number of times because of the amount I was being able to strafe there. That's hats off to the speed and accuracy of the key presses, is just not missing a beat there. So something really positive there to say about the BlackWidow Elite. Wrapping up the end of the round here. Annoyingly, my teammate's behind the pillar there, but I do get a few shots to heal up Diva as she's just coming across here. I then use Nano Boost, followed by a couple of quick shots into McCree there to take him out, which is quite cool. And really we're in overtime now, so we've just about won the round. Just hammer a few more shots into my teammates just to keep him topped up on overtime. And that just about wraps it up. We got a victory there. Great performing keyboard. Like it. Okay, we'll see you in the next part of this video review. Well, there we have it, folks. That's the end of the gaming test. Hope you're still awake after this, yet again, long review. Apologies for the length of it. I'll try and wrap this up quickly. As you can see, there are some minor quibbles I've got with the keyboard. Namely, one of them, because of those dual sideballs, the activation of keys when you didn't actually mean to is a little bit annoying. And just the minor cosmetic details, like some of the status keys on the caps lock and scroll lock, and as well as the media keys. If they can just add some sort of contrast in colour so you can see what those keys mean in dark situations, it makes such a big difference. But overall, stellar keyboard, really, really good. The only negative side, the only other negative point again would be cost. It seems to be spiralling up. On the Razer site, I think this keyboard will set you back about $169.99, which is a hell of a price for a keyboard, even a really decent one. And that always, you know, takes away from the outright recommendations. Do you get your money's worth out of this? I'd say so. Definitely excellent build quality, outstanding performance, great looks, brilliant configuration software through Razer Synapse. Excellent features with the new jog wheel on the side. Yeah, it's difficult not to give it our Rage Quitters legendary award. I'd like to thank Razer once again for providing us with this review sample. We hope you found this particular video useful. If you like the video, please hit the like button, and if you like this kind of content, we're out for making many more types of these sort of videos. Please hit that subscribe button. I've been TerminatorUK. Thank you very much for watching.